Hi, welcome to this video on Excel, an introduction to formulas covering basic maths and referencing cells. This video was recorded in November 2020 using Excel 365. Other versions may look slightly different. So in Excel you can perform calculations and formulations. In order to start writing a calculation, you need to put an equals. And then you can type some sort of calculation. So 1 plus 1. In here, in the formula bar, it shows the actual formula that you put in, but in the cell itself, it shows the result. So if I go down to here, I can put, as long as I begin with equals, Excel knows that I'm doing some sort of formula, and I'll put here 2 times 6, in brackets, divided by 3. There's the formula that I want it to execute, and there's the result in my cell. Now I can also reference other cells. So if I do equals, I can just click on a cell, equals A2. So the formula is equals A2, but the result is 5 because there is a 5 in A2. So whatever's in A2, this cell will reflect it. So if I change that to be 7, that cell changes to 7. I can also do calculations based on other cell values. So if I say equals D2 and do times 3. So right now there is a 6 in D2, so the result of 6 times 3 is 18. If I change that to 3, 3 3s are 9. There's the calculation against that value. So what I can do here is I'd say equals that A1 plus A2. There's a result, 10, perfect. Now if I use my fill handle that's shown in the previous video, I can drag that across here. And what that does is, when I've dragged it across, I've started in column A. If I go here to column B, you'll see that the referencing, Excel has said, oh, you're dragging it across, so do you mean to update your letter referencing as you go? And in this case I do. So A1 plus A2 becomes B1 plus B2. So you can see that's pretty helpful. And if I do the same thing here, if I say equals H1 plus G1 and I drag it down, then the numbers change because I've gone down rows rather than across columns. So the letters stay the same, H1G1, H2G2, H3G3. And then if I change a value in here, it will change that value. If I change the value here as a better example probably, if I change that to be 12, it's changed that, which has changed that, which has changed that. Because this value here is referenced by this and by this. This value here is references this. So to change one, it changes all of these values that reference it. And the final thing I'll show you is you're not limited to this sheet. So if I go to my sheet 6, I can say equals, and if I go to sheet 5, equals sheet 5, cell I3. If I press enter, it says 41 there. So if I go back to here and I change this value again, which has changed that to 42, if I go to sheet 6, that reference has changed to 42 as well. That's the end of this video. I hope you found it helpful.